greatest of all time, that is his name, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to receive over 100 billion naira as compensation in the coming days, as he drags Buhari's ex-minister to court over defamation and also over the statement of calling IPOB terrorists and a prescribed group. Now, the matter is becoming more interesting day by day. As I said in one of the video I posted earlier this morning, I said it is only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and only him can liberate the people of the Southeast with the help of Simon Ekpa. You can as well write down this message. I am coming. Just find your jotter and your pen. Put down this message. Put the date. It's only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with the help of Simon Ekpa can liberate the people of the Southeast, which is the Igbo race. Even in detention, the young man said, I am not giving up. Even in detention, he has been suing all manner of people as long as, even if you like, increase the volume of my stay here in DSS. But I will tell Honor that I can never give up so easily until death do us part. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu stands. Imagine when 100 billion naira comes to this struggle, my dear. I can assure you that every area, I repeat, every area in the Southeast, we get steady power supply, or we have all our roads, both in rural and in developed area, with what they call solar light, 24 hours non-stop. My brother, don't worry, we are moving forward. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he will be out, but this money must be given to him, because this guy, let me see, Nnamdi Kanu, he is speaking the mind of his benefactors. Sowore knocks Buhari's former aide. Sowore is always out there speaking up over Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's issue. I don't know whether he touched his heart or whether not from depth of the heart, I've been at your just mouth for a kind of political gains. But whichever way it is, at least thank him. He is speaking out anytime duty calls. Fubara and those of them Southeast governors allegedly plotting against Tinubu and Wike. Confusion. Our brother, the singer, Speed Darlington, finally released from Kuje prison, and he came out as a fine boy. My dear, if you see this guy, you even want to go to that Kuje prison. But anyway, these and other headlines is what we are going to dissect this morning. Don't forget, today is Wednesday, 22nd of January, 2025. Let us go there. Please like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has filed a libel suit against Bashar Ahmed, former special assistant on digital communications to ex-president Muhammadu Buhari. Nigerians understand that the lawsuit brought before the High Court of Enugu State accuses Ahmed of defamation and terrorism-related allegations. Come and prove it if you have documents. Because they say he who alleges must prove. Kanu's legal team, led by his special counsel, Barrister Aloye Jimako, stated in the claim that Ahmed made defamatory remarks on January 19 of 2025, which were published on X, formerly Twitter, and republished on talkofniger.com and the Phoenix browser.com. In many news outlets, you are calling Biafrans terrorists and Nnamdi Kanu names. Well, you will come and defend yourself, because the zoo hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because they said he called them the zoo, and he said Buhari is a Jibril. That is name calling, which is the defamation. Anyway, Ahmed statement reportedly read, anybody advocating for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, a terrorist and the leader of the prescribed terrorist organization, IPOB, should be considered a sworn enemy of that country called zoo. Ahmed statement. This is what we are reading now. In a post on his X account, Ahmed described Kanu as a terrorist and stated he would only support his release if Kanu underwent rehabilitation and renounced his views about Nigeria. He wrote, "I can only advocate for his release when he is truly rehabilitated, so he stops seeing Nigeria as a zoo and the citizens as animals that deserve to be brutally killed." Kanu's claims in the suit. Kanu, who is seeking 100 billion naira in damages, asserted that Ahmed's statements were defamatory and malicious, painting him as a convicted terrorist, a violent person with no regard for human life, someone who disrespects legal processes, including bail conditions. The suit claims the statements were widely circulated and read by millions, or rather billions, particularly in Enugu and Nigeria, damaging Kanu's reputation among his family, friends, followers, and well-wishers. Kanu argued that the remarks subjected him to public scandal, humiliation, and disrepute, demanding monetary compensation, injunctive relief, and a public apology. Kanu's prayer to the court. The IPOB leader seeks the following remedies from the court: a declaration that Ahmed's statements are defamatory and libelous, an order for Ahmed to issue an unreserved apology, published prominently in the Sun, Daily Trust, and the Guardian newspapers. A perpetual injunction preventing Ahmed from making further defamatory statements against him. 100 billion naira in general and exemplary damages. Payment of all legal costs associated with the suit. Nnamdi Kanu contends that Ahmed's statements were beyond fair comment and deliberately intend to damage his character and career. He argued that the publications have caused significant harm to his reputation and social media standing, asserting that without court interventions, Ahmed will continue to defame him. The court is yet to set a date for the hearing of the case. He is speaking in the mind of his benefactors. Sowore knocks Buhari's former aide. The African Action Congress AAC presidential candidate in the 2023 general election, Omoyele Sowore, has slammed former presidential aide Bashir Ahmed for criticizing those pleading for the release of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Nigeria News reported that the ex-aide to former President Muhammadu Buhari had described those advocating for Kanu's release as enemies of Nigeria. In response, Sowore, in a post via X on Monday, claimed that Ahmed was speaking the mind of his benefactors. According to him, Ahmed represents a tendency in Nigeria and they believe the country is their private real estate. Sowore stated that Nnamdi Kanu is being held hostage by feudal characters, adding that he stands no chance of getting justice in a court of law. He wrote, "This fellow at Bashir Ahmed is speaking the mind of his benefactors. When Muhammadu Buhari was in power, Nnamdi Kanu was one of the reasons he would get openly aggressive and upset. Truth is that Bashir Ahmed just didn't wake up to make these egregious statements. He represents a tendency in Nigeria, and they assume Nigeria is their private real estate, and only they determine what could happen inside it. It is the reason why I have consistently stated that Nnamdi Kanu is being held hostage by these feudal characters. He stands no chance of getting justice in a court of law, and court cases are just a charade meant to create an impression that he is in an indefinite detention. As a result of these bogies, they label as charges." Fubara, Uzodinma, and the other Southeast governors are plotting against Tinubu and Wike. Ohaneze Ndi Igbo laments. A faction of the Apex Igbo Social Cultural Organization Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, Ohaneze Ndi Eriri, has claimed there is a political conspiracy aimed at thwarting the re-election bid of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027. Nigeria News report that the Ohaneze Ndi Eriri faction made this known in a statement on Tuesday by its Deputy President General, Mazi Okechukwu Isiguzoro, President Deputy General. He stated that the plot against Tinubu spans across Nigeria's multi-faceted political, religious, and ethnic divides, driven by the collective intent to capitalize on current economic hardship, pervasive insecurity, and the perceived insensitivity of the Fulani government. The coalition of dissent is spearheaded by influential figures, including 2 former presidents, past military heads of state, opposition elites, and disenchanted factions within the ruling APC party. Alarmingly, these groups are now receiving tact support from certain global powers, intensifying their resolve to destabilize the current administration. Ohaneze ndị Igbo, Ohaneze ndị Eriri, leveraging this opportunity to unequivocally warn Bola Ahmed Tinubu that Rivers State Governor Similaye Fubara, along with other 4 Southeast governors, has aligned themselves with this political gang-up against his 2027 re-election efforts. They are engaging in an unacceptable attempt to usurp elements of Ohaneze Ndị leadership, motivated by a malevolent desire to politically undermine the FCT minister, Barrister Nyesom Chiwike. Within his own home state of Rivers, this is not merely a power play. It is a calculated effort to stir discontent among the populace by exploiting real economic grievances and widespread insecurity, thereby inciting unrest, Isi Guzoro said. The factional deputy president general asserted that these governors harbor ulterior motives to draft delusioned Nigerians, especially the Igbo populace, into their planned political revolutionary movement as we approach the 2025 and 2026 political build-ups leading to the 2027 presidential selection. He said their schemes are evidently designed to cultivate a narrative of dissent that vilifies Bola Ahmed Tinubu while positioning themselves as agents of change, cloaked in the guise of concern for the nation's welfare. The statement added, the desperation exhibited by these governors serves a dual purposes. First, to compel Bola Ahmed Tinubu to concede to their political demands, thereby jeopardizing his invaluable relationships with influential allies in the South-South and the Southeast regions, including the FCT minister, Barrister Nyesom Chiwike. Senate President Senator Godswill Akpabio, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Okalo, and other key ministers under his administration. Second, they aim to utilize Ohaneze Ndị as a vehicle to galvanize the Igbo nation in a concerning alliance with the northern political establishment designed to unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu comes 2027. We wish to highlight the actions of Governor Hope Uzodinjo, who controversially purchased the 2023 APC presidential nomination form for the former Senate President Ahmed Lawan. His involvement allegedly includes influencing former APC National Chairman Senator Abdullahi Adamu to act against Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the critical 2023 primaries. This alignment with the opposition party, the PDP, further exposes the depth of betrayal as key figures in the PDP previously conspired against Barrister Nyesom Chiwike in favor of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. These factions are clearly working tirelessly to ensure that unless Bola Ahmed Tinubu bows to their demands, they will forge a broader political alliance with the northern cabals, inclusive of major ethnic leadership organizations. The goal of this unholy alliance is to reorganize a formidable front to undermine and ultimately unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu ahead of 2027 selections. He stated that intelligence indicates that without decisive actions to counter the various adhesive influences of economic hardship and escalating insecurity, those orchestrating these gangs up will leverage the suffering masses of Nigeria as a potent weapon to realize their selfish ambition for power in 2027. The group maintained that both President Tinubu and Wike stand as the primary targets in this egregious plot, aimed at hijacking the Ohanaeze Ndigbo platform for the impending 2027 presidential selection. Stories for the gods. Our brother, the singer Speed Darlington, released from prison at last. Controversial singer Speed Darlington, popularly known as Akpi, has been released from prison custody. Nigerians report that the singer's lawyer, Stan Alieke, made an announcement in a post via his Instagram page on Tuesday. Alieke said Akpi's lawyers would explore every legal avenue to ensure that he gets justice for his fundamental human rights, which the Nigerian police force deprived him of. The post read, "Delighted to announce that our client, Mr. Darlington Achakpo, aka Speed Darlington Akpi, has regained his freedom after 2 months of illegal incarceration. For the record, as his team of lawyers, we will be exploring every angle of the law to ensure that he gets justice for his fundamental human rights, which was deprived of him by the Nigerian police force, and for the unfair and unjust treatment he was subjected to. Mr. Achakpo extends his gratitude to everyone who threw in their support, and special thanks to my colleagues, Mr. Marshall Abubakar Esquire, Barrister Deji Adeyanju, Barrister Hamza Nuhu, Barrister David, Freedom Comet by Strength." Record as Speed Darlington was granted 20 million naira bail last Wednesday, following his detention on charges of cybercrime. Justice Ekerete Akpan delivered a ruling after Speed Darlington pleaded not guilty to a 2-count charge related to alleged cybercrime activities. In his ruling, Justice Akpan set strict conditions for the bail, requiring the surety to be a level 10 civil servant residing in Abuja. The surety must dispose of an affidavit of means, and their address must be verified by the court registrar. The individual must also be neither a staff member of the Federal Capital Territory Administrative or a federal employee. So my people, I don't hear them. These are the messages that brought to us this morning. Just help me to circulate it. That Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and the BIAFRANS will be 100 billion naira richer if this happens, or rather if we achieve the victory where we need at Abuja Federal High Court in the coming days. And so shall it be. Please continue and make sure that we get this video to every nooks and crannies of the Biafra territory. I rest my case. K. Messiano.